pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so I think our first order of business will be to invite our auditor, Tom Scanlon, up, who will go over this year's audit. I'd like to recognize Town Treasurer Steve Nally, School Superintendent Cheryl Stanton, School Business Manager, School Committee Chair Emery Everin, School Committee Member Jennifer Curran, Union President Mrs. Lamorter. Okay, Chief of Police here, and make sure that the school committee doesn't get out of control. Come on up, Tom.
So I just wanted to touch base, finished the audit, last year's audit 16 a while ago on, I think we've been over the issues that came out of it, but going from the close of 17, I just kind of want to touch base and kind of go over some of our recommendations that we had coming out of it, specifically, with the school department and the reconciliation and the sign-offs. We had the 4 main deficits, which all got eliminated between the town meeting. And then there was some transfers that needed to be made. I know as of the other day, I talked to Andy this morning. I didn't get a chance to look at the email. But again, we're closing at the end from June here. I think, Chris, would you allow out to August 31st or September 15th?
September 15th.
Really getting those sign-offs between the school department and probably the superintendent signing off and probably the chair of the select board signing off, looking at them, signing on, make sure they both agree, like developing an Excel spreadsheet, listing down the GL balances, listing down the school department balances, and that variance column should be 0. And again, deficits should be accounted for, either the grant receipt coming in up through August 31st. So there could be deficits as of June 30, 17, but they should be legitimate receipt coming in to wash it out.
Okay.
And then on the school lunch, I don't know where that stands coming in, but I don't know if there's going to be a deficit coming at the end of this year.
Operationally, they were running about $8,000 in deficit, but we do have a $10,000 contingency in the budget. I was just going back and forth with the food service manager as to, I know there's always an adjustment done for the inventory and what that actual number is, so that we account for that. So I think that's the other piece we just need to know.
Yeah, I think that, I know disagreements about the inventory, about combat, it should be netted out within the deficit. So if you have an operation deficit of, 10, say, and the inventory is included in that, we should be grossed up by that to provide for. So the ending fund balance, including the inventory, should be provided for, or the state's going to penalize you.
And I can't automatically cover the deficit without authorization from the school.
Correct.
To move the money.
That's the big thing of those year-end transfers. I know I talked to Andy today, and he was working on them. He's going to get them to you, hopefully by the end of the month, so we can review them. Just in case it is in deficit, we can sign off on them. But the big thing is having probably select board and superintendent sign off on the deficits and really keeping track of them, because they're got a clean slate. Everything, all those accounts got set back to 0, which is good. So the deficits and variances were eliminated. And I do know, like when I talked to Chris earlier last week, those transfers hadn't been made. That's sped. So, like I said, Andy sent the email, but I haven't got a chance to look at it.
I think what happened is Andy had sent them in April, but something happened in
I know my old email was on there too, so maybe there was an issue with that. And it's kind of it going forward. So what I wanted to communicate is really those importance of those sign-offs, and really the importance of really looking at them, making sure the deficits are gone. If anybody else has any questions.
You want to talk about OPEB a little bit?
Not really. I think this is the first year you got a clean opinion on the financial statements, which is good getting into the open market. You have provided for OPEB getting on your financial, you had an actuarial study I would encourage, I'm talking to Chris about adopting a trust at some point and funding it.
We did adopt a trust.
But you got to fund the trust
We have 2 appropriations at 2 annual town meetings.
for 17,
One for FY17 and one for FY18.
18. How much were they?
150,000 each, I think.
Thought it was 175.
Maybe 18 was 175, but
Yeah.
17's was 150. Way below what we should be putting in.
Yeah. I mean, somewhere in there lies the truth in there. It's good that you're funding it, but treat it like a savings account. At some point, when you dip into it, come to a value, I want to say your liability is about 2 million, I believe, right?
Yeah.
2 million a year, yeah.
Treat that like a savings, so when you aim for a goal, but getting the trust up to 2 million, once it gets to 2 million, start by planning to dip into that. I'm going to take 100,000 of that, or anybody that retires after that point, you get 2 million, it's going to be paid out of the trust more than on the budget, and hopefully at some point you can reach that crossover point of smoothing it out.
Okay.
The OPEB standards did change, believe it or not. 18 is going to be your first year of having a difference. It's going to affect your actuarial valuation too. So is it Parker that does your actuarial? So you will have to have that updated.
He told me he was going to have to, because I already approached him on that. He
On
said they
18.
would- On 18, yeah.
So he factored that in for his 17 and 18?
He must have,
Yeah.
because I called him and asked him with the new rule changes,
Yep.
if we needed to have him come in again. He said no. That we were good for 3 years, period.
Oh, good. Yeah, it must be, I haven't seen the new report, so it must be factored in there.
Now, how are other communities doing in terms of fulfilling their obligations?
Yeah, they're putting what they can in the trust, and like I said, they have some kind of plan of when to tap into it. That's the real, is when to tap into it. So saving, trying not to backfill the positions, and creating that environment to where you have one position creating 5 to 6 health insurances.
Yep.
I think everyone's kind of approaching the same way. It's really, the trust is the key there. Once you get it, and I mean that may not seem like a lot compared to your ARC, but that's a pretty significant amount. Like I said, have a plan for it. You get to $2 million. Anyone that retires after that be paid out of there. Then you can kind of look at your contributions to it. You're paying more out than coming in.
Anything else? School committee?
I mean, the big thing is, I just want to make sure the school and town are on the same page as far as like the grant balancing and the sign-offs.
Talk to you once I look at the adjustment entries and see if they agree with what we had talked about at that meeting,
Yep.
that joint meeting, so.
If you have questions anytime, don't hesitate to call me.
Would you start the 2017 audit?
We're going to start sometime in October. I think because we're allowed to September 15th or whenever Chris can get the books closed, so maybe towards the end of October.
All depends whether issues are being addressed by the town.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, if you reconcile and you're off $100,000, I mean, that's, the pinpoint. I mean, I don't know if you are or not, but so the quicker we can get those numbers to, I know you're allowed to September 15th, but as close as you can get to that, the better off we'll be.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope everyone survived the eclipse.
I didn't even,
A little dark. It did get a little dark.
it got dark, but I didn't see anything. Last time there was an eclipse, I saw like weird shadows. We actually,
Yeah, but you weren't in the total eclipse. You only had 64%.
because but my, the physics teacher, he brought in a welding mask, so you could actually look at it and stuff, which wasn't really that, I don't know, whatever.
I didn't realize what was going on.
I was busy spreading 3
Yeah.
cubic yards of stone dust on my driveway, so.
Had your own eclipse with that?
Yeah. As long as I don't eclipse before the end of the meeting, I'll be all set. All right, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
All right.
All good? Nothing else?
Um,
The committee?
don't know, you get some arm
All right, thank you,
wrestle.
guys. Have a good day.
All right,
Two.
thanks. All righty. Motion to accept more reports.
Oh, last week, August 7th? What?
No, he's down to new business item number 1.
Oh, new business, oh, accept,
New beeswax.
oh, okay. Make a motion to accept departmental reports?
Second motion.
All those in favor?
Aye. Approve and sign maintenance warrant FY 17, 85, and FY 18, 9, 10, and 11.
We've already done those. You've already signed those.
Oh, okay.
I'm just getting the next topic
Yes, second.
for you.
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Approve, number 3, approve and adopt signed resolution, ad hoc hazard mitigation plan update.
Okay, the town of Granby had to update its hazard mitigation plan. We did it in conjunction with the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission. We had held a public hearing here where we went over the document with the board. It was submitted to FEMA. FEMA had no issues with it, so now the board has to officially adopt the plan that was submitted to FEMA.
Make a motion to adopt, certification of adopt, Town of Granby, Massachusetts, Board of Selectmen, a resolution adopting the Town of Granby Hazard Mitigation Plan update.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chief, good up.
Okay, before, okay,
That's an addendum to the police contractors, will
Okay.
explain it.
okay.
Chief is going to explain it.
So during the most recent police union contract, there's a huge number of issues that come up. We talk about a lot of things, we agree to things. And some of the things we agree to, sometimes they don't make it to the print because oversight on both sides. The union mentioned it to me. I went through my notes. My notes seem to indicate, as do theirs, that there was some sort of tentative agreement that we never put in writing, so we never memorialized it. Spoke with Chris. Chris's memory seemed to be along those lines. And so what the change is that any off-duty details that are 6 hours would be an 8-hour minimum. A lot of places, a lot of towns have an 8-hour minimum after 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we had tentatively agreed to, without putting it in writing, was an 8-hour minimum anytime there was a 6-hour detail. And there were some stipulations to that as well. It wouldn't affect anything paid out of a town budget, so it wouldn't affect highway, it wouldn't affect charter days and things like that. So anything that came out of a town's budget would not be affected that way. So what we're asking is to just add this addendum to the contract. That was the plan during negotiations. Both sides just kind of, it fell to the wayside. We didn't get it in writing. We did whoops it. So.
Okay.
Okay, make a motion to accept the addendum to the contract with Granby Police Department, August 21st, 2017.
There's 2 copies to sign.
I will, as soon as I see it.
Oh, you don't have to sign it.
I want to look at it.
You're very careful. It's a good thing, actually.
It is.
My scribble, your scribble.
I usually, if it's got a $5 bill on it, as we said before, it's,
I'll second the motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Do you want to read these? You want me to read them?
Bill pertaining to the,
Come here first.
yeah.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the approval and signature of common victular licenses. These are related to the Tomato Fest that will be occurring at the Red Fire Farm. I believe that's this weekend. First one is Clay and Dough out of Florence, Mass.
Donuts.
Second one is Rainbow Kids by Kaplason Anastasis out of Wales, Mass. Then we have Tom's Kettle Corn and Wildflower Honey. That's Thomas Fleabot out of Ludlow, Mass.
It's our animal inspector.
Yes. Blythe Crafts out of Worcester, Mass. Josie Golden, doing business as U.S. Born Books and More out of Northampton, Mass. Real Pickles Cooperative Inc. out of Greenfield, Mass.
Sounds pretty tempting.
And Catherine Kappa, doing business as Auntie Kathy's Kitchen out of West Springfield, Mass.
So you got a motion to approve?
Oh, I guess so. Motion to approve
All those that Chris just read.
all those attending
All those vendors at the,
the vendors at the Tomato Fest at
Yes.
Red Fire Farm.
yes.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Then I have one additional common victualler license for the Red Fire Farm Tomato Fest. It's Susan Pincus, doing business as Sawmill Herb Farm out of Florence, Mass. I would like this approved on condition that we receive all the paperwork prior to it being issued. And the reason I'm doing that is the event will occur before the next board meeting.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Oh, your signature's even worse than mine.
Ooh, mine? Mine's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even discernible as your last name.
I'll try my best on this one.
You didn't go to med
Do
school
you
or
want to
something?
do the gravel permits too, or you want to?
You can,
Okay, well, it's up to you. The next thing on the agenda is we have approval and sign the 2017-2018 gravel permits. These have already gone through the Conservation Commission and have been approved. The first one is for Naraki Construction, Inc. of 5 Lion Street, Granby, Mass. The location of the site is Lion Street, north side of Hamden, Hampshire County line. The next one is for Naraki Construction, Inc. of 5 Lion Street, Granby, Mass. The location of this site is at 11 Lion Street in Granby. And the third one that we have is for Naraki Construction, Inc., 5 Lion Street, Granby, Mass. The site is located on the north side of Carver Street and east side of former Lyman Pit in Granby.
you're right. That's so good enough. You're right, like a girl.
Make a
Next one.
motion to accept the gravel pit permit renewals.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the next topic on the agenda is to affirm the appointment of an interim building inspector. I have been in touch with South Hadley, and I would like to appoint Marco Guillemet as the interim building inspector, who is the current building inspector for South Hadley, until a permanent building inspector is hired.
So noted. Number 7, I make a motion to affirm appointed of interim building inspector from South Hadley.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Everybody get
There's like one there.
You ready for the next topic?
Yep.
Okay. We do have some Dufresne rentals I just want to inform the board of. We have the Granby Regional Horse Council with a reservation date of August 28th, 2017, arriving 9 AM, departing 4 PM. No liquor. Number of people is 20. Then we have a second one is Adriana Duchesne. It is on October 14th, 2017. It's a birthday party fundraiser, no liquor. Number of people is 150. We have one for a reservation for Jessica Hadley for September 9th, 2017, arriving 1 PM, leaving 5 PM. No alcohol. Number of people, 25. What's that?
Yep.
And then the last topic is really an old business type of topic. The gas inspector had come in and requested an increase in his inspection fee and to increase the fees for the gas permits. The board asked him to go out and look at surrounding communities to get what they pay their inspector plus what they charge for fees. And here is the information that he brought back. I don't know if you want to approve it tonight or if you want to look it over and approve it at the next meeting.
Are we on par with the other communities?
Yes and no. I think we're going to start getting to be the higher than all the surrounding communities. As for the fee paid for the inspections, no. That's going to be within the ballpark. Some pay $45 per inspection. He's asking for $35 an inspection. Some pay 30, some pay 35. I think we're in the ballpark on that. And I wouldn't have a problem increasing that.
How frequent are the inspections?
There's not that many gas permits that come in that I know of. If I remember right, we maybe issue 13 a year if we're lucky.
Yeah, they're not,
No. There's more plumbing permits than there are gas permits. And I believe the Board of Health pays $35 an inspection for the plumbing permits, so we just be matching what they pay, so.
yeah, every other town is basically in the same ballpark.
Yeah, so.
Right.
But there's not like a yearly inspection or anything? Once it's in and...
Once it's in, it's just like it's just like a building inspection and electrical inspection, things of that nature.
All right, unless you're replacing equipment or something of that nature, then you have to go re-inspect it. But that's far and few between.
Or if it's, something's not right, you have to pay for a reinspection fee. So,
So he wants the permit to go up how much?
he wants a gas permit to go to $60 for pressure testing or requiring only one inspection, $60 for replacement of existing equipment or appliances requiring one inspection, new equipment, appliances, or piping requiring not more than two to be $80 plus $10 each per appliance. And then for any re-inspections, it would be $35 for a re-inspection, basically covering his cost to go back and redo it. So the current gas fee is $50 for the permit plus $5 per appliance above two. A single cooking device is $30 And the reinspection fee is $35, so. Looks like he's adding $10 for most of them, you know, unless you're getting into multiple appliances, then it's a large one.
It's never that reasonable.
And it's comparable to other towns.
So, but I do need the board to vote to increase, number one, the inspection fee to be paid to the gas inspector, and two, to increase the permit fees, as I indicated, $60 for, if you want a pressure test only requiring one inspection, $60 fee to replacement of an existing equipment or appliances requiring one inspection, $80 plus $10 per appliance for new equipment, appliances, or piping requiring not more than 2 inspections, and $35 for a reinspection fee. And when do you want those rates to go into effect? September 1, October 1, November 1, December 1?
But where are the fees now? Are they posted anywhere that have to be changed and stuff like that for notification?
What it is we would just put notice up on the building inspector's office that these are the new gas permit fees, here's the existing, this is the new fee effective such and such a date.
Steve, you
I
want
usually like to give a 3-month notice,
on
so I
just
would
the inspector
say
fee first,
October, November,
or the permit?
The permit,
the permit,
so I make a motion.
that's the permit fees.
Oh, number one, I'm gonna make a motion, propose gas permit fees, building department. Number one, gas permit, pressure test only, requires one inspection, $60.
I'll second the motion.
All right, any more discussion?
Effective when?
Effective October
I think
1st,
December 1st.
December 1st?
December
I
1st?
like to go 3 months out.
Okay.
3 months?
Okay. Any more discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second, gas permits, replacement of existing equipment or appliances require one inspection, $60. Make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Any more discussion?
Nope.
Effective
December 1st.
December 1st?
All
right.
these will be effective December
All right.
1st?
Yes.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Gas permits, new equipment, appliances, or piping requiring not more than 2 inspections, $80 plus $10 each appliance. Make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Any more discussion?
Nope.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Okay, gas permits, reinspection, $35. I make a motion. We
I'll
adopt
second the
that.
motion.
I guess there's no more discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
And then the final vote you have to take is to increase the actual inspection fee paid to the gas inspector to be $35 per inspection,
What is that right now?
$17.50.
Is doubling it?
But that's what the surrounding communities
Yeah,
are
it's
basically
really
paying. so.
ridiculous. Well,
I'm requiring this on the signal card. Okay, oh, yes. Oh, I'll make a motion to increase the fees paid for gas inspections for the past 5 years. They're from $17.50 to $35 per inspection.
I'll second the motion.
okay. Do you have some discussion too?
Well, I was wondering, when was the last time the fee was increased?
I think you said about 12 years ago.
12 years
Yeah.
ago?
We're lagging. It's
That's-
not like
yeah,
it's typically the
okay,
same customer that would
No.
face.
No.
so.
Yep.
Any more discussion?
No.
All's in favor?
Aye.
And then the last item is approval of the minutes of August 7th, 2017. You should have that folder right here.
Make a motion to accept minutes August 7th or 17th?
7th.
7th. Okay, 2017, regular board meeting, 6:30. Make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just so that the board knows is I did send a letter to both the planning board and the zoning board of appeals, asking them to review the permit from 2010. Planning board met last Monday.
Yes.
They had a lot of residents come in and issue their concerns regarding the operation of the Bow and Gun Club. The planning board advisor indicated to the residents the proper procedure for registering their complaints. I have received 3 complaints to date regarding it. Those will be addressed by the zoning enforcement person for the town. The zoning board of appeals met, I want to say like the day after your meeting last week, last Tuesday. And they decided that they would conduct a site visit and then come back and meet again subsequent to their site visit. And I believe that is occurring tomorrow, and they are meeting tomorrow night, hopefully to decide if there has been any violation of the special permit. I will be forwarding Mr. Laborde's complaint regarding the lead contamination concern and the biomix concern to the Board of Health. That does not fall under zoning enforcement. That would fall under public health and conservation, so I will be sending a copy of the complaint to those 2 entities also. And the only other thing I would like to get is permission from the board to retain special counsel on this Granby Bow and Gun Club issue. Bacon and Wilson out of Northampton.
Absolutely.
Do I have a motion to allow me to?
I will make a motion to accept Mr. Martin's recommendations to hire Bacon and Wilson out of Northampton for special counsel.
I'll second the motion.
Any more discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's it for me.
Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second the motion.
All right, discussion. We'll take questions from the audience at this point.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.